Hey, this is Mark the Meerkat with Grok Trade from the Grok Day Trading Chat Room in March Madness Final Four. That's right, the final 4 days of the Grok Day Trading Chat Room with Mark the Meerkat leading it. On April the 1st, that will be our last day, but on April 4th, it's being transformed to a new room called the GrokGrad Trading Room, which will be both for day traders from 9 to 11 and then also swing traders in the evening. So, more about that at the end of the video, how you can be part of a 6-week free trial if you're not a Grok graduate, a graduate of our 301 or 401 mentoring programs. But let's talk about a trade we had in that room this morning. Now, as we're transforming over to a more participant-led rather than a leader-led chat room, this particular one setup was called out by Kishor out of Calgary. He's one of our Grok graduates and a really fabulous Grok star trader, and he just saw the setup. We looked at it as a group, and then I went ahead and I took the trade. So I'm going to show you how I took that trade that Kishor called out the setup on. So here it was on TLRY. And you can see here, again, these are lines that were on here from trading it this morning. It has symmetrical triangle, ended up going to the downside for a possible short, had a bull flag right here, then broke out nicely right here. And now, and Kishor called out, we were looking at several other trades at the time, and he said, hey, look at the bull flag on a TLRY. And here it was. And not only that, right here is the closing line. This yellow line is the pivot line, which is based on intraday price action from the day before, and also the even $8 amount. So 3 lines of support here as this came down there. So this was a great setup. Thank you, Kishor. So we were getting ready to set up a trade up here, and then what happened in the next candle, just as we were setting up that possible long trade, look what happened. It wicked up, came back down, and now it's basing just under this 805 area, and there'll be one more candle I think there. So we went ahead and set up I set up a trade here and I said I want to get in at 808. 808 is where I set my trade. Now your Grok graduates will know, those from our mentoring program know exactly why I put it there, right? Wicks, hint, hint. Okay, so as if it were a high base now. And so what happened in the next candle, boom, there I am. I popped in and I am in at 808 is where I got filled on my order. It popped up and it came right back, got me in at 808. And then I have a 1% attached stop. It's at the even $8 amount. So I'm keeping it right there. It's below the 8 EMA to keep me protected there. And it below the 20 moving average, which has now moved up there. Now, let's see what happened after that. These are 1-minute candles, by the way, and boom, boom, boom. And now look at the volume. Look what happened to the volume. Ooh, geez. It really going up with really strong volume. In fact, it's the strongest volume you can see here almost the entire morning. So I'm bringing my stop up here to break even. Like I said, I think I brought a penny in the money there, so it would be a true break even after I paid commission of 1 cent per share out and in and out. And so and then it started to stall up here. It tagged, this is the R1 pivot line. This is the yellow line is the pivot line. This is the R1 resistance line 1 pivot line. Tagged it at 35 and started to stay here at that $8.30 level. So I went ahead and I took a half order here. And I'm ready. If it sits there for 3 minutes, I take it out. And sure enough, right at the 3-minute mark, filled here at $8.30 for 2.7% on the first half. And again, it hit this line here. By the way, my second half stop here, I brought it up here under the 8 EMA around 822. And look at that. This is this resistance line here at this pivot line. It hit it once, came back, and it's right at it again. It can't seem to break it, and I have my stop here under the 8 EMA, and it's going up here. It pulled back to that 830 area, pulling my stop up here just under that 8 EMA at 27, in case if it busts below this 830, which was resistance, could now be support. Break down below that, I want to be out, but it could bounce off of there and take off and get right above that pivot line. And bam, nope, it didn't. It dropped down and it stopped me out. My stop was at 27, but I got filled at 825 for 2.1% on the second half. So let's take a look at this whole trade. It was a bull flag, and then it broke out, but then it was meeting resistance here at 805. As soon as it broke out from there, I got in at the high probability entry, based slightly, took off, and look at the volume as it went up. And then it was high basing up here just under this R1 pivot line, and look at the volume was dropping down until bam, it just lost and it just dropped down there. What happened after that, by the way? It just stayed there for a little while. But this total trade was for 2.4% in 13 minutes. So then what happened after that? And then it did try to go back up above that pivot line, and then no, it started to fall after that. That's okay. It's somebody else's money now. So this is the results that we had this morning in that Grok Day Trading chat room. And again, now we're starting to have other people call out the trades more. For example, here, trade number 7 is the one we just went over on TLRY. Kishor called that one out. We had Doug call out a nice high base on this one. And there was other people calling out things throughout the day. I just didn't happen to take that particular setup, but there's some great setups today in the room. Hey, we ended up with 5.6% on the day. Again, that's 5.6% of how much we have invested in each trade. So in our model portfolio, that would be $10,000. You'd buy $10,000 worth of stock. We have an attached 1% stock, risking $100 per trade, but each 1% we make. So that means that if you're trading the $10,000 lot size, we would have made about $560 for 2 hours worth of work this morning. Not a bad job if you can get it, right? And then our stats that we keep track of here. We had 62% success rate. That's excellent. Our target is 60. That's 0 errors today. And then our actual reward risk ratio, am I cutting my losers short, letting my winners run? It was 2.4 to 1. That's well above the goal of the stretch goal of 2.1. So as a result, we end up with 5.6. Hey, for the week here, we're at 11%, just about averaging, just over 5% per day, which is our weekly target, and which would put us 25% for the week. And again, this Friday, no fooling, April Fool's Day, but it's not a fool. This will be the last day of me leading the chat room and making the calls. That's why we're making the shift to have other people call them, mostly our Grok graduates. So this is Mark the Meerkat from the Grok Day Trading Chat Room. Getting ready to sign off from that room. However, I will still be continuing to do once a week lessons here on trades of the day, and I'll continue to be the mentor in the 301 mentoring program, delivering the content of our 3-day intensive training, as well as continuing ongoing mentoring and coaching for people from that point forward. As I am here for you, this to be your greatest trading year ever. Mark the Meerkat, trade well, trade safely, and may your winners run.